Hey everybody, this is the Esoteric Cross. I make videos about how to gain your personal power while learning ancient secrets, and if that sounds like something that you're into, please hit the like button and subscribe and gain insight from this perspective in the cosmos. In this video, we're going to talk about portals, gateways, and frequencies. There's so much to discuss on these topics, but I feel like a lot of this information can be misunderstood and misinterpreted by people within the spiritual community. All of these things are just a part of the natural world, and they can be very overlooked by people who are not interested in spirituality or the quantum field. Let's begin by talking about the topic of portals and what they truly are. We can break this down in categories. We have microcosmic portals and macrocosmic portals. Portals that are natural and portals that are man-made. Let's begin by talking about portals that are microcosmic and natural. We have so many different layers of self, and one way to describe the layers of self is by using the elements. If you're already interested in magic or have been practicing, you may already know about the elements being the layers of self. Earth is the physical body, water is the emotional body, fire is the spiritual body, and air is the mental body. These are more subtle energies, and they directly have to do with your personal consciousness. These energies are all overlapping each other within your aura, and tapping into one specific energy is like entering a different aspect of yourself. This is the moment that you step into the portal of a different aspect of self. But the elements are extremely subtle aspects. More noticeable aspects can be represented by the 7 planets to the ancients. These are also energies on the Kabbalistic tree of life. The Tree of Life is a diagram from an ancient form of Jewish mysticism called Kabbalah. And this tree shows us how this universe's light or consciousness is flowing down into reality, into the physical. These are the aspects of your consciousness and aspects of God consciousness. As above, so below. These energies can be viewed at as portals. We are still on the topic of microcosmic energies, so we'll talk about these energies that are within you and your own consciousness and body. If you've been performing magic, you may have been working with the elements, which is the first step in magic. You are changing the most personal energies within yourself. The next step would be to work on the planetary aspects of self, which can be represented by much of the Kabbalistic tree of life. The elements exist within Malkuth, which is the fruit of the tree, and is the lowest level. This is the physical reality. The next step would be crossing into the astral, into Yesod. Yesod is the purple sphere on the tree of life, and the name means foundation. The location of the sphere is at the pelvis, which is the foundation of life. I'm going to talk more about Kabbalah and the tree of life in future videos, but in this, I just want to drive the point home about natural portals within the body, which can be represented by these spheres of energy. The placement of these spheres on the body is deeply symbolic. Malkuth, the fruit, the physical reality, is placed at the feet, because this is where we walk in the physical reality, where we are able to use our 5 senses and interact with the world. Yesod, the foundation, is located at our pelvis because this is where we create life. This is where we birth life. This is where we create and grow energy and pull this energy into the physical reality. You can think of it as creating a human life and birthing it. But you can also think of it as having creativity and bringing this creativity into the physical reality. There's not much difference energetically. The organs located at the pelvis are physical portals. If you don't believe me, then really think about it. The act of quote-unquote doing the deed is an energetic practice of entering a portal or having your portal being entered into. There's a buildup of energy, a climax, and a release of energy. That energy goes on to build a life all on its own. And then this life is birthed from the astral into the physical reality through the same portal. This is the same process that happens in magic. You are creating a portal within ritual and programming this portal with energy. This is a buildup and a climax. After the ritual, this energy becomes almost autonomous, and then it starts building on its own. You, of course, have to feed this energy periodically and take inspired action based upon the goal. But this energy eventually crystallizes and is birthed through this portal into the physical reality. The heart is probably the strongest portal within the body. We can think about this energetically and also physically. Physically, the heart pumps your blood, which brings energy to every muscle, fiber, and cell within your body. Energetically, the heart center circulates your personal energy within your aura. This is the portal of life. The heart represents the link between the physical reality and the spiritual reality. And there are many layers to that statement. One being that your heart literally controls your life here on earth. Once the heart stops beating, you are no longer living. Once your heart starts beating, you are living. Another layer to this can be understood by looking at the tree of life again. Specifically, look at the middle pillar on this tree. You have the physical reality, Malkuth, at the bottom. You have the astral layer, the foundation, Yesod. Then you have Tiferet, the heart center, and I call it the Jesus Christ center for several reasons that I'll get into in a moment. Then you have the hidden sphere called Da'ath, which means knowledge, and then Kether, which means the crown. Kether is the source of light. This is the higher aspect of consciousness, the most spiritual self, or this can represent the God light that flows into reality. Tiferet, the heart center, is the bridge between Kether and Malkuth. The heart is the bridge between heaven and earth. It is the bridge between God and man. I call this the Jesus Christ Center because if you read the Bible, there is so much emphasis on Jesus living in your heart. Jesus is the mediator between God and the people. Also, the physical location of the heart and the heart center is at the cross of the body, and this is the alchemical center on which everything is transmuted. You can even focus on this center, visualizing it as a ball of light circulating light within your aura. You can visualize it transmuting all darkness into light, and this is an energy practice that will greatly serve you along your journey. These are natural portals within the body, but let's talk about some man-made portals. I don't want to say that man-made portals are unnatural because anything that we create is still natural. God consciousness creates reality, but since we are made in the image of our Creator, we too are creators. Anything that we create will have the tree of life energies encoded within it. We can create portals by performing rituals. As I was describing earlier, we are creating a space where the spiritual world and the material world can interact consciously. The spiritual world and material world are always interacting regardless. When we create the space within ritual, we are doing it intentionally, which creates a portal between the two. This is something that is made specifically by you and can be controlled by you. There really isn't much more to it than that. Let's go ahead and jump into the topic of more macrocosmic portals. Have you ever heard of places where very strange phenomena occur? Places like out in the desert where people report very strange things happening, like seeing skinwalkers, aliens, UFOs. Or how about areas where you can just sense a lot of energy that you can't even explain? There are very large portals all throughout the earth and all throughout the universe. Again, there are some that are natural, and I argue that some can be man-made. There's no real difference between your personal energy portals and these macrocosmic portals, other than scale. For the natural macrocosmic portals, these can occur where the energy lines of the earth intersect. The earth has these natural lines of etheric energy called ley lines. Remember, as above, so below. You have these lines of energy within your body carrying energetic information between these large energy centers. The earth has the same system. When you are on a ley line, you may be able to sense this energy. Now, in places where some ley lines meet or intersect, you will find a large energy center, and this is the portal. The portal can be used in the same way as the portals within the body. It can be used to program energy and to bring things into reality. The key for this is that it needs to be more collective. These portals can be used to program things for you. You can use these portals to program your own magic. They are very commonly used to harness very powerful energy and to charge powerful talismans, especially when it has to do with a collective. This will have an effect on a very large populace of people. Then we have macrocosmic portals that are man-made. This is where we are crossing conspiracy territory, which I'm trying to shy away from. There's a lot of research you can do about the topics of man-made portals, but all the information that I will give you here is that they are created the same way that one person creates their own portal. Large man-made portals are created through ritual. Because of technological advances, they can be created through a hybrid of ritual and scientific energetic techniques. Again, these portals can be used to program magic, to have an effect on large amounts of people, and to harness energy. Moving on to the topic of gateways, you may be asking yourself, what is the difference between a gateway and a portal? Well, they are definitely connected. A gateway has more to do with initiation. When you are being inducted into a mystery society, there's usually some sort of ceremony. A common ceremony that comes to mind would be having to be exposed to the dark for a period of time. You are alone in the dark, and sometimes this can evoke a sense of fear, and it could be a sense of change. Commonly, there is some sort of ritual that represents the destruction of the old self and being reborn or remade into this mystery society. This is a gateway. It is the crossing of a threshold. Any gateway is an initiation into something. This has a profound effect on your consciousness when you cross a threshold into something. The mind perceives this as a big event and ascribes novelty to this event. This is something that the subconscious mind really likes, and this event is categorized in the brain as something sacred and meaningful. Ceremony is extremely important when it comes to changing your life, creating a new behavior, erasing a bad behavior, or entering a new stage of life. This explains events like flushing your pack of cigarettes when you're quitting smoking, New Year's resolutions, cutting the red ribbon at a grand opening, birthday parties, blowing out the candles and making a wish, a graduation ceremony, or even a funeral. All of these events are gateways. They are initiations. They are ritualistic and ceremonial. The reason we do them is to ascribe novelty, which can help us let go of the old way of life and enter a new way of life. I think a funeral is a really good example because we are saying goodbye to a loved one, and as they are being initiated into the next stage of energy transformation, we are also being initiated into a life without this person physically being with us. In a sense, all gateways are funerals, because they all represent the dying off of the old self, the old way of living. They are all about the transition into something new, the transition into rebirth. Going back into my induction into a secret society example, a common induction ceremony is being put into a coffin and then rising out of the coffin. We can relate this back to the Bible and to other mysteries as well. Jesus dies on the cross and is resurrected 3 days later. This represents the Son, aka consciousness, being transmuted into a new stage, a perfect example of the ending stage of the old self and the rebirth of the new. So let's go deeper into the relationship between gateways and portals. Going back to the Tree of Life diagram, let's look at Malkuth and Yesod. Remember how I was saying Malkuth is the physical reality and contains the 4 elements of self. When you're performing magic, you begin by balancing the 4 elements, but you get to a point where you are able to transcend the stage and it's time to move on to planetary energies. You have been working with the portal of Malkuth, but you are ready to start working with the portal of Yesod. You then must cross this veil. You must enter the gateway into the next portal. Portals are the energy centers that feed life and can be fed by life. Gateways are the thresholds that must be crossed to get to these portals. The other topic I wanted to cover in this video is going to be frequencies. Everything in this universe is made up of frequency. Physics teach us that everything is energy and nothing is truly solid. Something that seems solid is actually just molecules vibrating so close together and so fast that it appears to be solid. It is, in fact, just energy and vibration. The universe is made up of light and sound. Going back to another Bible reference, it says that God spoke the universe into existence. Sound frequency and vibration is at the base of existence. One thing that we know is that a change in frequency causes a change in matter. You may have heard about the sound and frequency experiments on water. I highly suggest looking that up. They have used sound frequencies on water, and you can see how the water takes shape based off of the vibrations. It's really interesting to see. There's also experiments where people have talked to plants as they are growing, and the plants have some sort of response based off of the things that people say to them. It's definitely worth looking into. The same thing happens to us based on what we say to ourselves or what we say to our kids. When we say nice things to people and tell them what we like about them, they tend to respond accordingly and act that out. When we tell people what we don't like about them, they may feel self-conscious or may stop performing the behavior that we say we don't like. They may conform to our reality. This is where we realize that language is extremely important. Different words and language hold different frequencies. Different words hold different powers. It's also worth looking into gematria, which is the practice of assigning numerical values to words. This is a system that is commonly used in the ancient form of Jewish mysticism known as Kabbalah. It is through learning this that you realize the true power behind many words. This is why when we perform magic, there's a huge emphasis on vibrating certain words in ancient Hebrew as we are charging the symbols that we're creating. These words have the power to change our reality. Sound frequency has a massive effect on us, and probably more of an effect than we give credit for. There is a big controversy about the fact that the frequency of music has been altered, that the tuning has been changed from 432 Hz to 444 Hz to have a certain effect on us. I don't know as much about this topic, but this is something that I want to learn more about, and it's something I would encourage you to look into if you're interested. 432 Hz is a more harmonious frequency, whereas 444 Hz is disharmonious. The impact of changing frequencies to something that is disharmonious is so that it can be used for control. There are machines that can be used to really cause damage to the human nervous system by playing a certain frequency. On the flip side, there are many frequencies that we can listen to that will relax us, heal us, bring us into higher states of consciousness, and uplift us. I'm definitely thinking about creating healing frequency music for this channel, as well as guided meditation, so please leave me a comment if you're interested in this. I would love to know what you all think about this. Portals, gateways, and frequencies are some of the topics that can help you grow an understanding of the esoteric mysteries and help you see some things in a different light. They are also some of the foundations on how consciousness and the universe truly work. Hopefully, this is something that can motivate you to become more proficient in magic. If you're just starting your journey in magic, I have a program that's designed to help guide you through the 4 elements, which is the first step of the journey. Also, if there's something specific that you need guidance on within your magical journey, feel free to set up a session with me. Check out the link in the description below for more information, as well as to where you can book a tarot reading with me. If you want access to exclusive content and live streams, the link to my Patreon is in the description. And I hope there was something new that you were able to take away from this video. If so, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.